Malcolm Meets Yoda Part 2. I like to go by the rule of three. When I was teaching Malcolm to ignore strange dogs by diamonds in the rough, we went to that location 3 separate times. This is Malcolm's second time meeting Yoda, and we will do a third time this coming week. Each time Malcolm's ability to do what I'm asking as a behavior is improving because he is practicing those behaviors more with a familiar object or a familiar dog. This is how we dealt with Malcolm meeting Yoda the second time. Ready. John is going to be bringing Yoda into Malcolm's line of sight and then back out of his line of sight while I work with Malcolm to keep him calm and ask him to do the behaviors I want. In this case, I want him to stay calm and not over threshold, and work on him not barking every time he sees a new dog. Malcolm is aware that Yoda is there, and his excitement level is up, but not as much as it was the last time he saw Yoda. I'm attempting to circle him, which I didn't do a very good job of, to reduce his line of sight of Yoda for a second and keep him from getting locked on watching Yoda. One of Malcolm's problems is he will see a dog, get stuck staring at the dog, and then explode because he doesn't know how to get himself unstuck. When I realized that I was having trouble circling him because of using the cane and not having coordination, I went with the choice of dropping treats in front of him, and if I couldn't get his attention, of getting his attention by putting the treat on his nose. If you listen to Malcolm's bark, it's a alert. There's somebody over there, but it's not a hyper-excited alert. It's not a fearful alert. It's not an aggressive alert. It's just kind of, hey, how you doing? This is significantly reduced from the last time that Malcolm and Yoda met. Now he's telling me the dog left. Bring it back so I can have a treat. That's a frustration bark of not getting treats because the dog left.
He's waiting for you to come back. Yes. Good boy.
Do you see that stillness right there? Malcolm's getting stuck. That's why I'm working on getting his attention without pulling on his leash. He's actually the one putting the pressure on that leash. I'm not pulling back. I'm standing still. He's applying all the pressure.
Yes.
Pulling back would increase his excitement level, and he would get more barky towards Yoda. So dropping the treats on the ground gives him something to do that breaks that stare, that getting stuck, which is what's happening. And getting him turned around breaks him getting stuck. Now we're going to do some movement to release some energy. For Malcolm, standing still too long gives him a chance to get stuck. So we're moving to get him unstuck.
Yay, good boy.
And no Yoda, so no treats. Well, he did a sit, so he gets a treat. Because he's starting to offer known behaviors to me, which is excellent. Here comes John.
Yay, good job.
And I immediately made it a happy event that Yoda showed up. And Malcolm did go to the end of the leash, but he's not overexcited or over threshold at the end of the leash at that point. He's just a little bit at that edge of threshold at this point. Now I can see John coming through the back window of my van right there. If you watch, you'll be able to see when he's approaching, to see where I'm doing my timing.
Woohoo! Here he comes!
And I'm actually timing when I know that John and Yoda are just about to pop into his line of sight.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that's perfect. Good job. Malcolm. Here. Oh my goodness.
So
Yes,
that
good
higher pitched
job.
bark is more of an excitement bark now. Malcolm is kind of happy to see Yoda, and he's trying to tell him that, hey, I'm over here, you want to play. That's a much happier bark than the much more, what I like to call the police dog bark that he was giving before, where he was way over threshold and he was really telling the other dog to back up. Now that's kind of an invitation bark of how you doing.
Yay, good boy.
So there's John. And as you can see, he's getting really comfortable with the idea of John and Yoda showing up. Still a little stuck, still a little focused on Yoda, but he's improving each time. His mannerism is much more relaxed, but he's still excited. At this point, he's still taking treats hard enough to pinch my fingers. But now we're walking back and forth, with Yoda going one direction and Malcolm going the other, and just getting Malcolm to focus on me and ignore that Yoda is over there doing his own thing. Oh, good choice. That spin around was him trying to decide, do I bark at Yoda or do I come over and pay attention to my handler, and he made the choice of paying attention to me.
Yes.
So he's making eye contact faster.
Eyes.
He's sitting faster. He's making eye contact on cue now. He's still getting a little stuck, like right there.
Here.
But he's breaking away from that being stuck faster. And when he gets stuck, I just help him by bringing his head around and breaking that contact.
Now what?
And he is looking to see where Yoda's gone, because all the good stuff is happening when Yoda is where he can see him. So that's what we're working on right now, is just making all good things happen when Yoda's there. And here comes Yoda, and good things happen all of a sudden again. And as you see, his body is a lot more relaxed. It's even more relaxed in the last video. He's starting to trot. He's wanting to go over and investigate the other dog. He's paying better attention to me. He's still really aware and really paying attention to Yoda as well, but his focus on me is improving step by step. Okay, I backed up right there because I don't want to reward look and bark. I want to reward look and don't bark. So I backed him up to get his attention back on me and then retry that space so that he could have success of what I want of him.
Yes.
And now I got him looking at Yoda and looking away.
Over here.
And Yoda's over there where he can see him, but we're going to work on walking up and down again. This movement is now helping him get a better picture of what I'm asking, not just standing and looking at a dog, but now moving and letting another dog do its own thing and focusing on me, which is the whole goal of this, is that I need him to pay attention to me and keep doing what I need him to do so that he can do his job.
Just a little, not much more. He's still a little excited.
So John's asked, can we move closer together? And he's going to move about 1, maybe 2 feet.
Yes.
Malcolm is listening to cues on the first time with no latency finally. That's good to see.
Good choice.
We're going to keep Malcolm and Yoda still separated by distance, but we're decreasing the distance very little and giving Malcolm another chance to succeed at walking up and down with Yoda a little bit closer.
Just going to step in just a little closer.
And there we go. So we're walking fairly parallel at this point. And I'm just working on Malcolm keeping focus and walking loose leash. And as you can see, he is walking much better with me, even with Yoda a little closer and walking along with us. He watched Yoda as we came around and focused on me. That was excellent. This was our best up and down. He's aware the Yoda's there, but Yoda's no longer as much of a concern, and his focus is more on me and less on Yoda, which is where we're working for. He's looking and looking back, so he's doing very quick glances.
Yes.
He went out and then chose to come back to me and unstuck himself, which is excellent. So he's learning how to get unstuck.
You ready?
And now we're going to work walking just a distance without the treats in my hand or being given to him. And if you see, that's a loose leash except when he goes off to explore. Praise for coming back to me. Yoda's right there. He is listening. Reward for sitting.
Good choice.
Reward for a good choice to tune back into me and not worry about Yoda as much and breaking and not getting stuck. Good choice for right there
Yes,
of looking
good
and looking
choice.
back. So now he's getting rewarded for those good choices.
Nice. Very
And that was
choice.
an excellent session, and he really
Alright.
improved a lot.